During the duel with Kaiba, Yugi turns him into a trading card and forces him to feel the sensation of death at the hands of the game's monsters.
Yo, this Yu-Gi-Oh is more brutal. I love it, bro. He's more, yo, like I said, he's more sinister, bro. He's like more evil, bro. What is good with y'all young boys and girls? I'm saying that's the same fucking life, and I'm back with another reaction, man. We got the Dark Origins of Yu-Gi-Oh! This was a very special requested video for me, and just before I get into this video, we got 3 more days until we finally changing locations, and I'm gonna be able to react to all of the videos that you guys want me to move more faster, consistently, and I'm gonna just tell you guys what I've been going through for the past month. I'm gonna drop a video on that this weekend, but starting this Friday, bro, we're gonna be lit again like we was before the middle of July. We was lit, man. We was putting out reactions that when we wanted to, so I'm gonna just be able to actually consistently drop more reactions and just more videos for you guys overall consistently. We're gonna go up 2020. I'm just letting y'all know. But let's get right to the video. If you guys enjoy it, leave a like. Let's get right to the video, man.
So it turns out that this guy, and this guy have a lot more in common than
Do
you
they
might have
really?
known. Let's check it out.
No way, Yu-Gi-Oh got a common with a serial killer. Yu-Gi-Oh got something in common with a serial killer.
Lately, I've been obsessed with you got the 4Kids English anime, which is the only Yu-Gi-Oh story most people that I know have seen. The show is known for its almost comical levels of censorship, from finger guns to the Shadow Realm to the removal of any religious symbols to the cover-up
I know we like those.
remotely sexual. So the English anime is a toned-down version of the Japanese anime. But it turns out that the Japanese anime is a toned-down version of the first Japanese anime. This gets a little confusing, but in 1998, there was a one-season anime by Studio Toei simply titled Yu-Gi-Oh! The Yu-Gi-Oh! Show that we know in America first released in 2000 in Japan by Studio Gallop. In Japan, this second show is called Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. To distinguish the two in English, a lot of fan production of the show is famous for its wider focus on games and the much crueler and more punishing version of Dark Yu-Gi. I could stop and just talk about Season 0, but today we're actually digging one level even deeper, because it turns out that even Season 0 is a toned-down version of the original source material. We got the OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga, written by Kazuki Takahashi and first published by Weekly Shonen Jump in 1996. This is a dark tale of violence, games, and judgment. It's so many steps removed from the neutered show that I grew up with that it feels like a completely different story. Shockingly, the Viz Media English localization of the manga is extremely light on censorship this time around. And
okay, what they working with?
It's pretty damn good. Okay, some quick manga stuff before we get started. I'm gonna be using the Japanese names for these characters since that's what they use even in the English manga. Also, the version of this story that I read was the Viz Media 3-in-1 volume packs that you can see here. If you're interested in buying this manga and want to help support the show, I'm going to leave an Amazon referral link in the description below. The images from the manga that I'll be using today are from the more recent Japanese Bunko digitally colorized manga. These look extremely good, and I hope that someday they'll see an English release in the future. The phrase Yu-Gi-Oh! In Japanese literally translates to King of Games, and that's exactly what our hero becomes. The manga follows the real-life theme of some of the earliest games known to mankind being discovered in Egypt. When Yugi solves the ancient Egyptian Millennium Puzzle, he inherits the soul of an ancient guardian who passes judgment on the evil. The first 7 volumes of the manga are what most would consider classic Yu-Gi-Oh! These all follow a similar chapter-by-chapter formula. Yugi and his friends find interest in a gamer activity, someone evil exploits or cheats in that activity, and then Dark Yugi appears to challenge the perpetrator to a shadow game of his own design. When the evildoer is defeated, they're given a cruel punishment that fits their crimes. One of the most interesting parts of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga is that it has a massive variety of gaming inspirations to make up its scenarios. There are chapters or arcs dedicated to Dungeons and Dragons, arcade games, yo-yos, Tamagotchi card games, and of course, even
do they still make new Yu-Gi-Oh! episodes?
Complete with polls that vary in rarity from 1 to 5 stars.
Fire Emblem Heroes!
He's the king of games, not the king of cards. Also, fun fact, the original title for this card game in the manga, before it was changed to Duel Monsters, was Wizards and Magic. It's
Wizards and
literally
Magic.
a
That's a
Magic
good
the
thing they
Gathering
changed it.
parody. A
It's a
big
good
thing
thing
that
they
makes this
changed it.
Yu-Gi-Oh so dark compared to the Yu-Gi-Oh that I know
Whoa,
is
he looks so sinister, bro. He got like a eye, a third eye, bro. But he looks so evil, bro. Like if I didn't watch this show, I would have thought he was like the villain or something, not the main character.
punishment. The only dark Yugi punishments that I remember growing up were the occasional mind crush. But this Yugi has an entire arsenal of ways to humiliate and beat down the evil people that cross him. Our first victim tries to extort Yugi for cash, and so Dark Yugi throws him into illusion that drives him insane, making him think that he's rolling around in piles of money. He's found the next morning rolling in leaves and garbage. And compared to the rest of them, he got off easy. For example, during the duel with Kaiba, Yugi turns him into a trading card and forces him to feel the sensation of death at the hands of the game's monsters.
Yo, this Yu-Gi-Oh is more brutal. I love it, bro. He's more, yo, like I said, he's more sinister, bro. He's like more evil, bro. But I mean, in his defense, like he's really defending himself in most of these situations. But I like Yu-Gi-Oh. I like this Yu-Gi-Oh.
And while humiliation
Why did America change him?
That Dark Yugi uses, he usually prefers extreme violence. There's poison stings, electrocutions, explosions, lighting people on fire, lighting people on fire, lighting people on He just really wants to watch the world burn, okay? These are all bad people who deserve the punishment, but seeing Yugi act as an executioner so frequently,
I like it. I actually like that.
Wild.
Conquering demons is what I
Now, if he was doing that to good people, then it'll be a different story. But he's doing that to villain.
Compared to what I used to know. Another thing that isn't quite the Yu-Gi-Oh that I know is the Perv Factor. It only takes like 5 pages into the first chapter to find Yugi imagining Anzu's panties if she played basketball while wearing a skirt. This is a very different Yugi. Later we see Grandpa commenting on how she's grown up and comments on her bust size.
What? The grandpa?
Complaining about
Man, it's just like Master Roshi.
In his porn. There's this thing in the background, the panty tank. Someone tries to use chloroform on Anzu. Yugi ogles Anzu's quote-unquote dynamite body.
Whoa. This is just too much. This is too much processing right now. What did they try to do? Rape this girl? I hope, bro. This is just crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I see why the American people changed it up, bro. This anime was crazy. Look at him, bro. He got the cover on her face, bro. What did they plan on doing to, bro? This is crazy.
Yugi ogles Anzu's quote-unquote dynamite body. There's a weird groping machine? What the? Man, it has gotta suck to be the one girl in a shonen manga. These moments aren't super common, and they definitely do die down as the story continues.
Bro, they hungry.
The English anime and cards are so prude, they want to pretend that cleavage doesn't even exist. So even that small jump from
So, you mean to tell me Americans dim down the size of her boobs too? Can we have anything in the show? I might go back and watch the OG video, bro, because I'm liking what I'm hearing so far from it.
Babyland to T for Teen Land can feel like a giant leap. But I think by far the biggest thing that shocks me when reading this is the violence. Like, yeah, Yugi kills people, but they usually die off screen or in one shot. But there's a significant amount of bloody and brutal fist fighting throughout the whole story. Broken jaws, teeth getting knocked out, hands getting impaled. This is intense. But nobody gets a beatdown like Yugi. Lil Yugi is constantly getting his ass whooped. I started counting, and over half of the first couple volumes feature stories where this kid gets punched in the face. It's just
no wonder he kills his opponents off viciously.
From the finger guns.
As he should.
Weapons everywhere. Tons of guns, multiple serial killers, tasers. Everyone has a knife. He's got a knife. Yugi's got a knife. Freaking Mokuba?
Bro, they really changed up this whole show, bro.
Like I mentioned.
Like, imagine if we grew up watching this show, the original Japanese one instead of the American one, bro. Like, my parents probably wouldn't even let me get the cards, bro. Like, that's
First
crazy.
7 volumes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Play out in the
I
stark but
actually like
passionate
this
love
Yu-Gi-Oh
letter to
though.
all things gaming. The original English printing of these volumes was simply titled Yu-Gi-Oh! But starting with volume 8, things start to change. The manga starts to line up with the storylines we know from the anime, and card games completely take over. Between Duelist Kingdom and Battle City, more than 20 of the next consecutive volumes
card
are
game
entirely
based.
about the Duel Monsters card game. Okay, almost entirely. In English, this huge block is called Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist. Now, they might be card game arcs, but they do still have that classic manga edge to them.
Oh, yeah,
Tons of
okay.
characters actually die during Duelist Kingdom, including Bandit Keith being forced to shoot himself in the head after being caught cheating, or Pegasus
What?
having the Millennium Eye graphically removed from his face.
Yo,
Oh,
she's
God,
about to
no.
eat.
Licking the blood off of it. That boy ain't right. But regardless, it's definitely jarring to go to only card games after reading those first couple volumes. Almost all of the rest of Yu-Gi-Oh! And
It's
its
a card
expanded
game.
universe is trading cards. Cards have become the brand's identity. I started searching for an answer, trying to find out why this series went from all games to just one game in such a
Right.
sudden
What made them
way.
just switch?
The author constantly talks between the chapters about the different games he loves, citing his absolute favorite as tabletop role-playing games. Every single chapter of the manga even comes with a little do-it-yourself board game that you can play, full of different rules and genres. So with all this variety, why only cards? Kazuki Takahashi doesn't speak to the press that much, but I finally got my answer in the Time magazine interview dating all the way back to 2001. Originally, I'd planned to phase out the card game in 2 episodes, but the reader response we got was enormous. Shonen Jump started getting calls from all these kids who wanted to know more about the game, how to play it, where they could get it.
Okay, so the
At the
kids
time, kids
influenced
didn't
it.
really play card games. They were way into video games. But it's much more thrilling to battle against a human being while looking them in the eye
Yeah.
than playing with a machine.
I can
realized
agree
I
with
hit on
that, bro.
something,
The
so I
way
began to
they made the playing card games in Yu-Gi-Oh, it's just like it can never be done again, bro. Like the way they would play it and it would come to life and they would actually fight it, like it, they made card games interesting, and card games are not really interesting. You know, I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh is a once in a lifetime anime. Like nothing will ever be like Yu-Gi-Oh ever again, bro.
concentrate on the card game. Another important part to this story is Takahashi's career. He wanted to write manga professionally, but he wasn't able to break into the business for over a decade. After all those years of waiting, those 2 card game chapters finally helped him find an angle to success for the first time. I definitely can't blame him for running with it. Card games or no card games, I still really love Yu-Gi-Oh! After all these years. Sure, this version is lewd, it's
Hey,
crude,
man.
and it's got
The
one mean
Yugi,
dude, but
the little
old school
kid Yu-Gi-Oh is what I
manga
remember
is
the
full of
most.
more stories with the same great characters I grew up with on the TV. As someone who's also walked a life full of different types of games, from the tables to the screens, it's been a blast going through this little chapter before Yu-Gi-Oh became all about the heart of the cards. And that isn't where the story ends. Takahashi might have gotten swept up in card game mania in the middle, but he got to end Yu-Gi-Oh! On his own terms. The final 7 volumes close out Yugi's original story. In English, they were titled Yu-Gi-Oh! The Millennium World. If you've seen the Yu-Gi-Oh!
Why he
anime,
look like an
you might have
Egyptian
noticed a lot less
goddess?
card games in the show's final arcs. But one thing the anime doesn't really capture well is the final shadow game of the story. Here in the manga, it's a massive tabletop Dungeons & Dragons style campaign between Yugi and Bakura. Despite creating a story that kickstarted one of the world's most popular games, I find
Wow.
it fitting that Takahashi got to give us another look at his personal favorite game
They're
before
literally
the end.
battling each other like as the Earth. They're using the Earth as their battleground. What the hell? Man, this was the dark origins of Yu-Gi-Oh! This is stuff that I did not know. Like, I mean, we shouldn't know because it was OG. It was before America changed it, you know, and just changed a lot of things to it. It wasn't as gory, wasn't as edgy as it was. Like the dude said, everybody had a fucking knife, even Yu-Gi-Oh, bro. But Yu-Gi-Oh, the kid, was the one I remember the most as a kid because, you know, waking up Sunday mornings, I get ready for church, and I don't know if you guys remember, they used to do a lot of CW stuff, like CW Kids. So they would have a lot of different programming shows, and I would always catch the Yu-Gi-Oh one and Dragon Ball. I'll always catch both of them on a Sunday morning, bro, because that was just the back to back good lineup, bro. But like I said, man, it makes sense for Yu-Gi-Oh to be, savage, because when I first found out like animators, like, actually Japan animators actually made this show, I'm just like, why ain't it like it's just about cars? Like, ain't no backstory to it. But we found out the backstory, and now we see why America changed it, because it was too crazy for us kids to watch, man. Like I said, if if we watched it how it was in OG, I probably wouldn't have been able to buy no cars of the game, nothing at all, bro. But I enjoyed this video. It's very educating and telling, bro. I really, really want to see the OG. Like, if anybody knows where the OG is, just comment down below. Let me know, because I want to know. Comment down below what else I should react to. I'm saying thoughts. It's the same fucking life. I'm going to catch y'all next time. Don't forget, this weekend we finna turn up. We finna be lit, bro. I promise y'all. I'm out, bro.